1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0. Let's go!
I really want to know!
This video is made for deck officers who are working on the tankers or scheduled to join soon.
Yahoo! Let's start part 5. Everything you've watched so far in parts 1 through 4 has been all about building the foundation you'll need for parts 5 and 6. To fully understand what we're about to cover next, it's essential that you already have a solid grasp of the COPT system. That's why we took the time to go through all those detailed explanations earlier. Now, let's move on. In this part, I'll walk you through some key tips for increasing the cargo pump RPM, as well as practical know-how for operating the COPT effectively.
Now it's time to start using the steam that's been generated in the boiler's steam drum. And when it comes to increasing the RPM, you'll need a bit of technique, a few tricks of the trade, you might say. So let's dive in and break it down step by step. In the CCR of a vessel equipped with a steam-driven cargo pump, there are two different pressure gauges used to monitor steam conditions. One is the steam mainline pressure gauge, which shows the main steam pressure. The other is the steam exhaust pressure gauge, which is used to check the vacuum pressure in the COPT exhaust line. The gauge you see in this photo is the steam mainline pressure gauge. This gauge is essential when operating the COPT, the steam-driven cargo pump, because it allows you to monitor real-time changes in boiler pressure and steam mainline pressure. The other gauge is the exhaust pressure gauge, which lets you observe the vacuum pressure in the vacuum condenser or the steam exhaust line. It would be great if every tanker came equipped with both types of gauges as a standard pair. That would make things so much easier. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. Some vessels, like the one in this photo, only have a gauge for monitoring the exhaust pressure of each pump. That means there's no way to check the boiler pressure from the CCR.
Seriously? What a pain! You can't exactly go smack someone for it, but man...
When you're operating the COPT, you're stuck in this inconvenient situation where you have to rely solely on the exhaust pressure gauge. So yeah, keep a close eye on that gauge because that's all you've got.
And to whoever designed this setup, hey, come on out here! Just take one hit and go lie down over there!
What's even more frustrating is this. Those blue panels with built-in pressure gauges? Yeah, the ones from that particular manufacturer, they're often way off. Compared to gauges from other makers, these tend to have a lot more error, which makes things seriously inconvenient. Maybe it's not the manufacturer's fault. Maybe the crew on board didn't properly calibrate them. But whatever the reason, it really feels like you're dealing with some cheap toy. I'm sure some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. At this point, you're probably just going by instinct, right? Anyway, let's keep our heads up and deal with it smart, like we always do. All right then, from this point on, I'll be focusing on vessels that don't have a pressure gauge on the main steam line, but only have exhaust pressure gauges installed on the steam exhaust lines.
Hold on a second. But wait, what's the difference?
Oh, yeah, there is a bit of a difference. If you could monitor the steam main line pressure in real time, it would actually make things easier when you're trying to increase the RPM. Knowing the current boiler pressure helps you decide whether it's safe to open the governor valve a little more, which means you could boost the pump RPM further. That real-time boiler pressure reading gives you a solid reference point when making that decision, and it makes the whole cargo discharge process smoother and more efficient. On the other hand, ships that only have a pressure gauge on the COPT exhaust side have to rely solely on that exhaust pressure reading to operate the COPT. That's why it's so important to understand everything I've explained up to this point. Without that background knowledge, running the COPT can be pretty challenging. So yes, that's exactly why I've taken the time to go through all of this in detail. All right, let's keep it rolling. We'll start from a standard remote RPM of 600 or 500 depending on the setup, and gradually crank it up as far as the boiler pressure allows. Let's say we're kicking off at 600 RPM. From there, we'll raise it in 50 RPM steps, one pump at a time, starting with pump number 1, then pump number 2, and then pump number 3. First, bring pump 1 up to 650 RPM. This is like a little test run to make sure the governor valve is behaving properly. Then, wait around 20 to 30 seconds. After that, do the same for pump number 2 up to 650. Wait another 20 to 30 seconds, then pump 3. Once all 3 are sitting at 650, repeat the whole thing. Pump number 1 up to 700, wait a bit. Pump number 2 to 700, wait again. Then pump number 3 to 700. Keep that rhythm going step by step until all 3 pumps hit 900 RPM. Just like a dance, 1, 2, 3, pause, and repeat. The reason I'm setting 900 RPM as the benchmark is based on operational experience.
Based on my own experience, Uncle Charlie style.
From what I have seen, most marine boilers can sustain this RPM range without any issue. When following this gradual increase method, the boiler is generally able to maintain steam production and meet the required steam demand for the COPT without any performance drop. That said, every ship's boiler has its own condition, so the speed at which you increase the RPM should be adjusted accordingly. Just take it easy and go at a pace that matches your boiler's actual condition. But here's the golden rule. Keep your eyes locked on the steam mainline pressure gauge or the exhaust pressure gauge, whichever one your ship has. Watch them closely as you bring the RPM up toward 900. Now, in most cases, nothing unusual happens on the way to 900 RPM, but if you notice the steam mainline pressure starting to drop, or if the exhaust pressure starts moving into the positive side, stop increasing the RPM right away. Give the boiler a moment to catch up. Wait until it generates enough fresh steam in the steam drum before you continue increasing the RPM. After waiting a bit, you'll usually see the boiler pressure start to rise again, and when that happens, the exhaust pressure gauge will begin moving back toward the vacuum side. That's your signal. You can start increasing the RPM again, step by step, until you reach your target of 900 RPM. But don't worry, in most cases, getting up to 900 is a smooth ride with no major issues. So there's no need to stress, just stay calm and follow the process.
Yes!
Now here's something important you need to remember. You're not actually raising the RPM directly. You're adjusting the COPT governor valve and gradually opening it to allow more steam in. That's what's causing the RPM to go up. So don't forget, it's all about how much you're opening that valve.
Phew, I gotta say, putting these videos together takes a lot of effort. So, if you're enjoying the content and it's helping you out, a little support in the form of a like and subscribe would really mean a lot.
Now then, let's take a look at a few different setups on how steam pressure gauges, or steam exhaust pressure gauges, are installed on various vessels. First up, this is the most common design you'll see out there. Each pump has its own exhaust pressure gauge, with one gauge installed per COPT. Pump number 1, 2, and 3. These gauges let you monitor the exhaust pressure of each individual pump, which provides useful reference data when operating the COPT. Second, now this one's a solid setup. You've got a steam mainline pressure gauge and an exhaust pressure gauge mounted together as a proper set. And let me tell you, this design makes operating the COPT so much easier. You get the full picture. Supply pressure, exhaust pressure, all right there in front of you. If every ship was set up like this, man, life in the CCR would be a breeze. But nope, reality check. Too many vessels still don't have this kind of setup. Just one gauge here, one missing there. Like someone put it together blindfolded. And from the operator's side, it's beyond annoying. It's straight up ridiculous. I mean, seriously, who the hell designed this panel? Come out here, face the crew, and explain yourself. Are you dumb? Like, actually dumb? Did you build this with a crayon and a hangover? Because that's what it looks like. All right, now here's type 3. And honestly, it's hilarious. It's insane. It's unbelievable. You ready? There's nothing. Like, actually, nothing. No steam pressure gauge, no exhaust pressure gauge, zero, zip, nada. This thing is so simple, it's practically a joke. You have no clue what the boiler's doing, no idea what the exhaust is up to. You're basically flying blind. I mean, come on. What were they thinking? This is the kind of setup that leaves you staring at the panel like, wait, is this real life? And the best part, whoever designed this mess, can you believe it? He actually got paid for that. Probably smiled, clocked out, and went home thinking, good day's work.
저 새끼가 쳐 돌았나?
What the hell is wrong with this guy? Man, come over here a second. You need another round of sense knocked into you? Sheesh, get your head on straight already. Get it together, kid. Wake up and live right for once.
Dang, that must hurt real bad.
This is the CCR panel of a VLCC tanker. Now let's begin increasing the cargo pump RPM step by step, starting from the basic remote RPM setting. As we raise the RPM, we'll observe how the exhaust pressure changes in relation to the main steam pressure, all through a short video demonstration. Please take a close look at the RPM gauge at the top and the two pressure gauges on the right. As the main steam pressure changes, you'll notice a corresponding change in the vacuum pressure gauge on the exhaust side. Try to observe while imagining how the system is reacting in real time.
Now, time to start increase RPM. If boiler pressure not enough, then pressure will drop, and also we'll lost vacuum power.
Reduce RPM.
Reduce RPM, and wait until steam pressure recovered. Once steam pressure recovered, again pressure will increase, and vacuum power also will increase.
RPM.
Now, ready to increase RPM. After increased RPM, maybe you can see it. Some of the conditions will change. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep monitoring both gauges and to control governor valve as your plan. Go ahead.
Did you catch all that? All right then, let's go over it once more, just for review. During the process of increasing the COPT's RPM after the boiler is ready, a drop in steam pressure usually means one thing. The amount of steam being consumed by the COPT is greater than the amount of steam the boiler is currently producing. That imbalance causes the boiler steam pressure to drop. So when raising the RPM, you have to carefully balance two things: the rate at which steam is being used and the rate at which the boiler is generating fresh steam. Maintaining that balance is the key to safe and stable COPT operation. Also, when the boiler pressure drops, it affects more than just the COPT. It also reduces the efficiency of the steam ejector, which in turn weakens the vacuum inside the vacuum condenser. Now in that situation, even slightly lowering the RPM, in other words, just reducing steam consumption a bit, can really help bring the boiler pressure back up. Once the boiler recovers and starts firing strong again, you'll see the pressure in the steam drum rise as well. That's your cue. From there, gently and carefully, bring the RPM back up to the level you need. Take your time, work with the boiler, and you'll be just fine.
So in this case, when I say gently and carefully, I mean something like easy, easy. Take it slow, don't rush it, and don't go too hard.
살살 잘 다뤄라.
Well understood. Okay, I also understand. Dan saya mengerti.
All right, now take a look at this. This little picture right here, it really says it all. I think it pretty much sums things up. If the steam pressure is sufficient, then the COPT exhaust pressure, or more specifically the vacuum pressure inside the condenser, should be able to maintain a proper vacuum level as needed. But on the flip side, if the steam pressure is too low or insufficient, then the vacuum pressure in the condenser will start to weaken. Not too hard to understand, right?
Not too hard to understand, right?
뭔 말인지 알지? 뭔 말인지 알지? 뭔 말인지 알지? 진짜 나 뭔 말인지 알지.
Even if it was a bit tedious, I truly appreciate everyone who patiently watched and followed along until now. Much respect to all of you. To be continued in part 6. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you.